Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is the FloTrack podcast in studio. I am Kevin. He is Gordon. Our email address is flotrackpodcast@gmail.com. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it right behind us. Got a couple emails. We'll probably get to those today, but just an action-packed show because Chicago Marathon, it delivered. There's so much to talk about today, Gordon.
It did. And it delivered not just in one phase, like in one race only. A lot of times these big marathons, sometimes one gender is not as interesting as the other, but the women's race and the men's race both had equal excitement, equal storylines. I mean, from an almost world record, from an American record on the women's side to an impressive debut by potentially the next great U.S. marathoner, Mantz. We'll dive all into it. But overall, what was your, like, on a scale, I don't know, you want to do a scale of 1 to 10 or great? What do you want to do 1 to 10 scale? Do you want to do A, B, C, D, F scale? Do you want to do tier scale? Do you just want to do vibe scale? Just rate the Chicago 2022 version.
I think it was an 8, and it's tough to score high because for marathons in the current era, the bar keeps going up and up. The men, you know, if you don't have Kipchoge, you're going to be lacking a bit. There could have been a little bit more on the men's side, but for the women to have two really compelling storylines for U.S. viewers and just viewers of the entire world and who are very curious about, hey, where's the women's marathon going from here? How long is that Bridget Kosgei record going to hold? I think I'd have it like an 8.
Yeah, I'll probably do a 7.9.
Okay.
Because,
go the under.
I want to take the under, a close under. Just in general, I mean, seeing mainly centered around Sisson and Mance, because seeing a new American record from, I kind of look at Sisson and Mance, even though I guess they are kind of separate. I mean, is Sisson 30 yet?
She's 30, yeah.
She just turned 30?
Yeah.
I feel like Sisson feels younger. I just feel like she's like 27.
Mm-hmm. She's
forever 27 in
She was
my
5 years in college, I want to say. Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. But I just look at Sisson and Mance for some reason in the same category as, like, you know, in the past decade, star college runners who are now making a name for themselves on the roads, and seeing Sisson kind of now be the undisputed marathon record holder. You know, it was kind of, we got to be honest, it's kind of interesting that Kira D'Amato had it. I mean, she was not involved in the sport for so long. Comes on late, and then all of a sudden it's like, yep, I'm the fastest that's ever run this race. It seems more fitting that it's someone who's gone through, not that Kira doesn't deserve it because she's great, but like it's kind of nice when it's like a young or relatively young athlete taking the new mantle.
And I don't think Kira's done, and I don't think Sarah Hall's done, and Emily
Sisson's not done.
Sisson's obviously not done. Molly Seidel's not done. Hasay, would it surprise you if she came back?
That would surprise me.
I think what we should do later on, though, we should power rank the American women right now. I know there's still New York to go in the fall, but I think right now, like, who would be your top 3? Also, on the men's side, I think there's some interesting stuff with Mance. I know he didn't run as fast as I thought he was going to run. He didn't get the American debut record, but there's some interesting.
Because everyone is keeping track of these days.
That's what they were talking about in the broadcast over and over again. I thought it was just like a couple people, you know, real running record. No, everybody was all in. Like, he was asked about it twice in the press conference. Like, are you disappointed you didn't get the American debut record? Again, I thought he would go a bit faster, but I think he was right in the zone. We'll talk more about it in a second. Of still being really happy, because when you look at who else in American history has run that fast in a marathon, very, very short list. We're also going to talk about CJ Ujah's suspension. Remember, Team Great Britain got stripped of the 4x1 medal from Tokyo. There's some news about that. You have a dunk update. Also, we might have, if you're watching right now, you might have a new laptop update, because I'm guessing by the end of the show, Gordon's going to knock his water onto his keyboard. It's really making me nervous right now. Oh, he's going for it. He's going for a drink.
I'll put it out here.
He pulled it off. Okay,
it's off the screen.
You got the glasses right there, and I knew you were going to go to the glasses next because we're going to talk about Gooder.
That's right.
Our sponsor.
Boom.
And I didn't want you to hit the glasses on the water, causing
I'm really happy you brought that up, because that would have definitely.
I could just see you gesticulating like this.
Going like that.
Like getting, like I bring up, I don't know, Ches in the background or something like that. And then all of a sudden the water's off. Anyway, this show, Gordon.
Brought to you by.
You want it? You can do it.
No, you lead off.
Okay. It's brought to you by Gooder Sunglasses. Purveyors of sunglasses made for anyone who enjoys putting your body through hell and back. A lot of people, Chicago, did that over the weekend in the marathon. All different types for sprints, 5Ks, marathons, ultra, trail, track, all for $25 and $35. The website is gooder.com, Goodr.com. $25 active sunglasses for anyone. They're about fun, fashionable, functional sunglasses that everyone can afford. No slip, no bounce, all polarized and all fun.
Kevin, you know what the problem with sunglasses is?
Well, now I do.
They're expensive.
Yep.
They're ugly.
Yep.
Especially on your face.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, no, my face too. They're ugly on all
Burn.
people. They're ugly on all people's faces.
Burn.
And they're sometimes over-engineered. But this is the difference. The gooder solution, they're affordable, they're not ugly, they're stylish, and they're all performance. Free U.S. shipping for $50 or more, 30-day free returns, 1-year warranty, 100% carbon neutral, 1% for the planet. Find your pair at goodr.com. That's GOODR.com. I'm considering changing my legal name from Gordon Mac to Gooder Mac.
That'd be pretty cool.
For the next ad read.
You've been dunking on me constantly about how I'm ugly with sunglasses on. I got to admit, though, and I've been looking at a lot of pictures of you recently for things we're not going to get into on this show, maybe the bonus pod. Yeah, they look good on you. Hey, and you keep getting mad at me for being hypercritical of, how does Gordon look in this photo, that photo? Those are good.
I appreciate that. We'll get a screenshot of that. Here, hold on. Screenshot.
One more time. There it is. There's Gordon.
Got the screenshot.
Right. Let's get into the show. All right, Ruth Chepengedich. We'll start with the women's side. I think that's where we got to start. My goodness, she went out hard. She went out hard last year, goes through the half marathon last year in 67:34, fell apart in the back half, still won. So what does she do this year? She goes out even faster. She's like, that wasn't fast enough. I have to go out even faster. 65:44 at halfway. Gordon, for early parts of this race, she was in 2:10 pace, 2:11 pace.
Just a natural 2:10 pace, you know.
Just no big deal. Then starts slowing, gets to the line, misses the world record, but not by much. 2:14 for her at the end. 2:14. What was the final time there, Colt? Oh, Colt pulled out the rug right at the end. 2:14.18 for her, so 14 seconds off Bridget Koskai's world record. She did it, winning this race by over 4 minutes. Again, it was never close. It was her and the pace setter who was with her for a good portion of the race. But it was all Chepengedich from the go. I knew she'd run fast. You held my feet to the fire, said make a pick. Is she going to run 2:14? I didn't think she'd go out this fast. And I don't know. After this race, Gordon, when we talk about the women's field as a whole, there's one thing I'm very confident about and two things I am not at all confident about.
Okay.
You want to run
tell
through
me
this?
what you're confident about first.
I'm confident now that the world record's getting broken. And it's getting broken soon. And this was an outlier performance, Koskai's mark. It was sitting out there. You can look at the all-time list right there. Before Chepengedich ran it, there was over 1 minute and 10 seconds back to Paula Radcliffe. I thought it would hang on for a while. It is so clear now because Chepengedich did not run this in the most economical way. If you were to write a book on how to run a marathon, it would be the opposite of how she did it with the positive split, right? You think if she just holds it back a little bit in the first 10K, this record is completely gone. But it's not just her. It's all these other women. It's Asefa who came on the scene and ran 2:15. It's Gade who's going to run in Valencia. So the one thing I'm sure about women's world record in the marathon is going to be gone potentially in Valencia, but it's not going to last, I don't think, past the spring of 2023.
Because it'll get broken again.
It's gonna get broken. It's gonna get broken in London or somewhere, maybe even a Dubai or an Amsterdam. Like this, it's a full-on assault now. No one is afraid of running 2:14 low pace, and there's so many women out there that can get it.
She wasn't afraid to run 2:10 pace.
I know. Like I'm sure smart people with the numbers can adjust it. Like how much time did she cost herself by running 2:10 pace? Because if this was this could have gone really south like last year, where she goes out in 65 and then comes out in 72 or something like that. And we would have been like, whoa, there she goes again. I mean, credit to her for hanging on. But that brings me to one of my things I'm not confident about is where the world record ends. I don't know. Is it going to be 2:13 high? Like people now are talking 2:12, 2:11 possibly being out there as potential marks now in the future, just because how aggressive she ran and how fast the half marathon is right now for the women.
I mean, should we start the clock for breaking 2:10? You know, you had the breaking 2.
I don't think it's that far out there, man.
Should breaking 2:10 be the new thing that we see in 2030?
Yeah.
Breaking 2:10 attempt from some, 18-year-old right now, 10 years from now?
It's so hard to not get carried away after one performance, but then you just see how aggressively she ran and what everybody else is doing. Because that's the other part. Here's another mystery I have after this race. Who are the best women in the world right now in the marathon? You had a big three before. Kosgei, Jeb Chirchir, Jeb Kosgei. Then this fall, You have Chepengedich do this. You have Asefa, former 800-meter runner, run 2:15. And then you have Yahuwah, who has only done this twice and is the second fastest half marathoner of all time, win London. You probably are going to throw Gidey in there. So somehow the big three is going to turn into the big seven in a matter of...
That's good for a good playoff run. You get 7 deep. They got 2 on the bench.
Yeah, you need 7 who can contribute. But I have no idea who number 1 is in the world. And I don't know... Like, I would guess at least 4 of those women have a legit shot of being the person to break the world record. Because you figure Koskai could break her own mark. Gidey has the half record, and she can debut quickly. Chepengedich is just chill for first 5K or 10K. And then Asefa runs 2:15. I don't know, man.
Kevin, you know what you're sounding like?
What am I sounding?
You're sounding like me a year or 2 ago when I was all in on the NCAA 5K.
Yeah.
When I said there was like everyone and their mom was a great NCAA 5K runner. That's what this women's international marathon's becoming. Like you say, it's not just a big 3 anymore. You could argue it's a big 7. And I think the betting odds will be pretty even across all 7 of them. Mm-hmm. Maybe a few more to, Koskai because she's the world record holder, but like it is, I think it's great. I mean, it's very interesting. It's a very different dynamic between the men's landscape and the women's landscape. Yeah. Men's, it's Kipchoge, field. It's kind of like it was Tiger Woods versus the field during his prime. Women, though, there is no Kipchoge on the women's side. Yeah. There are like 7 Kipchoges. And it's great because you don't know who's going to win any given moment.
So she goes out, as I meant, what's that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Colt's throwing up the yearly list there. So 2:14 for Chepengedich, then Asefa 2:15, then 2:16.02. I mean, this brings up your point from Friday's show. How many of the top 20 are going to come from 2022? And it was already close. Was it close to half, or was it exactly half?
It was half.
Yeah. And then now we have another one. So now we're past 50%, and we still have Valencia to go. So I think if you end up combining 2022 and 2023, we might end up with 75% of the top times in history being turned in by those women.
But 2:18.29 is like number 29 all time. I guess it's number 30 all time when you throw in also
13 this year. Yeah, we'll get to this in a second. One more thing on the women's side of things. Like, a question I want to ask you. So she goes out 65:44. So, I mean, do you think if she goes out in?
I think 30 seconds slower. I think 30 seconds slower, she runs. This is going to sound weird. I think 30 seconds slower, she runs 15 seconds faster.
Oh, I think that's cautious. I think maybe even quicker. Like, she could have run 2:13. Don't you agree? If she went out a little bit.
Yeah, 15 seconds faster.
Yeah. Well, that's 18 seconds, but
okay, 19 roughly, seconds, round it. Come on, I'm using rounder numbers, all right? We speak in 15s, 10s, and 30s, not 18s, 17s, and 12s.
Okay, so I think it's realistic that we're going to see the women's world record between 2022 and 2023 not just go under 2:14. I think we could see it under 2:13. Do you think that's realistic?
So you're saying a 2:12?
But by this time next year, or by the end of 2023, I would not be surprised.
We're going to see a 2:12 by the end of 2023.
Yeah, what do you think? It could be 2:12.59.
Yeah, that's a 2:12.
Yeah. Well, you speak in 15s, 30s, 45s, and double zeros, I guess. I don't know.
But okay. So, I mean, it's October 10th, 2022. Are we making our way too early 2023 predictions?
No, I'm just saying, how did this race impact what you think of where the world record is going to go? Because you have someone who clearly didn't run it by the book and still almost broke the world record, and then you have someone who's not far and away the best woman in the world. Like, you have to figure there's going to be other women who could run with her and push the pace. Like, wouldn't you watch this race and say, yeah, someone can run like a minute 20 faster than that? That was my big takeaway.
My only thing is,
I guess having the pacer helps, and in a lot of the marathons in the world, like, you're not going to have male pacers going through, but you're going to have a Chicago next year. You're going to have a Berlin next year.
Is Chicago the new, like,
well, she didn't get the course
place
record.
To be?
She runs number 2 all time. Didn't get the course record because Koskai had it there.
Like, if you had a gun to anyone's head and be like, name a fast marathon course, what does everyone say?
I think they go Berlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then but I think Chicago and then London, I think, is where people would be at now.
Should the people with the guns to their head start saying Chicago?
Maybe. No, I still go Berlin. Let's look at this all-time list. Chicago,
Chicago's
London,
top 2.
Berlin, London, Valencia. Yeah, I mean they're good at the one woman like 5 minutes ahead of everybody else type race. All right, let's talk about Sisson though. American record shatters it.
Yes.
You said you believed what her coach said, which is she'd run 3 minutes faster,
yes,
which would leave her like a couple seconds short. I was more optimistic. I thought she was going to go 2:18s, and she did it and finished second in this race with a lot of women who were 2:20 low. I mean, it's funny. I looked at her last 2 kilometers compared to she ran faster over the last 2 kilometers by like 10 or 11 seconds than Chepngetich, which makes sense because Chepngetich went out at 2:10 pace. But I figured Sisson had a big one in her, and this one was it. We talked to Keira D'Amato a couple weeks ago before Berlin. Hey, do you think your record's going to hang around that long? She said no. I said no back when she did it in Houston, just because we're seeing how fast the rest of the world is, and we know how deep U.S. women are right now. What did you think of Sisson's run? Did anything about that surprise you, either the place or the time or the manner in which she ran it?
I mean, I'll be honest, I was a little bit surprised. I knew she was in for a big PB. I didn't think she would, shatter the American record by over 30 seconds. But it's one of those things where you're surprised, and then you think about it, and then you're like, that makes sense. Yeah. It's like those weird moments. You're like, whoa, okay, that makes sense.
Because if I had told you 3 years ago Emily Sisson was going to be the American record holder in the marathon,
you would say, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
I can see. You could say I could see that, but like anytime it happens, you're always like, whoa. But 2:18 though, 29 for Sisson. Keira D'Amato's now second with 2:19.12. My question before 2022, Dina Kasser's the only one to ever break 2:20.
Yeah.
So, who else do you think will be? Not who else, but like we talked about the world. We talked about the world record. You think it's going to be 2:12 by the end of next year?
Yeah.
Talk about American record. We know Sisson isn't the only one out there who can run this fast. How long does this stay?
Well, I think the best candidate to break Emily Sisson's American record is Emily Sisson doing it again, because I think she's still got more in it. This was only the 3rd marathon that she started. She's still young. She's still got a lot of speed on the track. So this is going to go under 2:18. Like the world record, if the world record does get to 2:12, like someone in the United States is going to be able to run 5 minutes slower than that. Like that's just the reality. So yeah, I think we're going to see a sub 2:18 probably next year as well too. I think it's just there's no reason why it should slow down, and the amount of depth and talent for the U.S. women is there too.
I think it's also fun that being a sports podcast, like an event happens. And my first thought is like, when's it going to be broken again?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the 26 miles she just ran. I was like, let's talk about when she's going to do it again.
Sisson, and this is why I was so optimistic about Mantz too, like all the indicators are there. A lot of times in the marathon, it tricks you. You're like, man, why is this person, why can this man only run 2:12? Like, look at all these PRs, something like that. Or on the women's side, like, why are they only getting at 2:24, 2:25? With Sisson, everything pointed to her having a fast one in her. She just needed the opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
And this was it. And she did it in a race. She said she had no idea. Like, she had pacing help, obviously, but she said she had no idea at the time, even towards the end, because all the attention was on Chepngetich. And when they have those combined fields, they can't send the secondary pace car and camera. So she said because there was no cameras and stuff around her, she thought she was off American record pace. And then someone yelled at her towards the end. She thought, okay, maybe I'm close to breaking 2:20, and they want me to break 2:20. And then it wasn't until she crossed the line, and I believe she said she asked her husband, hey, how fast did I run? And that's when she found out she broke the American record. Now, I don't know if that would help her or hurt her, but again, let's go back a couple years. Remember where the Americans got a bunch of PRs? Marathon Project?
Yeah.
Right? Imagine that sort of setup. I don't know if they're going to do anything like that. There was obviously extenuating circumstances around that, but imagine something like that where it's in the United States, but it's all set up around time, and you bring a lot of these top women, top men together. I think you could see another run on fast times. But I also think this is what's required now to keep up. We've mentioned 7 women who we think can run 2:17 or faster, right? At least. Maybe 2:16 or faster, because some of them have already run in the 2:14s. This is what you have to do to keep up on the global scene right now.
One thing I think, it's always interesting, how did we get to this record? She basically, I don't know if it's luck or whatever, but like
Definitely not luck. It's a marathon.
well, I'm saying luck in that like the way the field played out because when Ruth Chepnetigat just goes all the way out, you're like, all right,
She's gone.
she's gone.
Yeah.
And luckily, there were two other women who were running that similar pace with Sisson for most of the race.
Yeah.
She had Sora Aga and Kiplagat with her.
Yeah.
And basically, through 30K, she was just in a little trio.
Well, yeah, she had the men pacing too.
Yeah. So like, but even having the men pacing is one. I think it's a little different when you have like the competition because
Sure.
men pacing.
I just meant she had company.
Yeah, I think it's different though having competition company versus pacing company.
Okay.
But she makes the move somewhere between 30K and 35K. I'm not sure exactly where it was, but to have 30 of your 42K, like kind of feeling like you're just in the pack cruising. It's only having to run a 12K.
No,
yeah, pretty nice.
Yeah, this was things aligned for, right? The weather we know was good. The pacing was good. That's why I'm not going to say, oh, she's going to run 2 minutes faster than that. But do I think she can squeeze out another, 30 seconds in a better scenario?
I think you can always squeeze out another 30 seconds.
In a marathon?
I mean, Kipchoge did it.
A little bit, yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I think this is only marathon number 3. She clearly still has the speed. The video of her kicking in was just incredible. Like she was finishing at 1500. It was nuts. So I think she's the best candidate to break her own record. I think she likes these flat, fast courses. Small sample size, but the 2 that she did went really well. The one that she did not on a flat, fast course didn't go well. So it's pointing in that direction. But yeah, put her in Berlin next year, put her in London in the fall, or maybe Valencia one day. Like, I want to see more and more Americans going after the fast times because a lot of their PBs don't match up with
Their abilities.
Their abilities, yeah.
Which is a great podcast topic.
Yeah, we're going to do that one. That one's on the list of when we do 2.0. We're going to do it. Cliff says, Bridget Kosgei ran fastest second half split 106.42, assuming first half is 105.30. Should be like 212.12. So, yeah, there's a reason why people, when they can opt for how they're running marathons, the best people opt for even split or in the neighborhood for it. No one says, all right, what's my goal? Let's subtract 3 minutes from that. And that's usually the way people who are doing it for the first time.
Yeah.
Let's bank a bunch of time.
I mean, that's how I do when I go for my runs. I'm like, all right, if I want to run for 30 minutes, I run the first half for 12. And then at 12 minutes, I turn around because I know it's going to take 18 minutes to get back.
Exactly. Yeah, so I think with a little bit more restraint. Again, though, this is her MO. And some people are different, and your brain is a big part of it, too. Maybe this is how she gets up to running these type of races. But I was not surprised on Sisson. I was surprised on Chepngetich, but I guess I shouldn't have been. Do you want to go to the men's?
Let's do it.
All right. So we have Benson Kipruto, I just did a whole thing about Amos Kipruto after London. Like, maybe he's the number 2 guy to Kipchoge. And now you go, oh, Benson Kipruto, maybe he's won Boston before. He's in the mix. This race was pretty standard, narrowed down. It was like 10-12, and then it was 8-6, and then it was finally down to a couple at the end, and it was Kipruto and Tura, who's the defending champion. Kipruto pulled away, 2:04.24, solid time for him. Again, in any other world where Kipchoge doesn't exist, we'd be like, hey, is this the guy, the best marathoner in the world? We don't have to have that debate, thankfully, because that would be the shortest conversation ever. Tura second, 2:04.49. Then you have Career, who is up there in co-ed, 2:06, 2:07. And then Conor Mance, much anticipated debut gets 7th in 2:08.16. 2:08.16 for Conor Mance. So your thoughts either on the winner or on Mance?
Well, first we'll talk a little bit about just the dynamics of the race from a U.S. perspective. There was no Americans in the top 10 for a majority of this race, even though Mance does finish 7th.
He's in the second pack.
He didn't join that top 10 until late in the race, and I thought that was kind of interesting. I thought that, you're on your home turf. You think one American or two would just be like, let's mix it up with there, at least through the first 5K, 10K, realize, oh, all right, they're going faster. Let's hold off. But I thought that was an interesting thing. I thought maybe Mance would Mance likes to go to the front. I think this is probably the first time he realized I'm not racing, a bunch of, I'm not racing Colorado State and Utah State.
It's not WCC.
It's not the West Coast Conference, racing Portland. I'm racing the best in the world. So
they went out.
That was probably the first time ever Conor Mance was like, I can't go to the front.
What was about a minute?
How do you think Coach told him that? He's like, all right,
Yeah.
Conor, I know this is not Netty Comb.
It was weird to see it. So they go out 102.24 for the half, and Mance was 103.45, so he was like a minute 20 back. I think that kind of now we can always play Monday morning quarterback here or Monday morning marathon runner here. Okay.
Monday morning marathon runner, MMMR.
So
that'd be a good podcast.
he slowed down at the end. So I think he would have slowed down more if he went out with that group.
Yeah.
But the problem I found out after when you watch the post-race interview, he ended up having to do a lot of leading because the rabbit, he said, in that second group was kind of off a bit. So eventually he had to take over. He said, I think I pushed it too much. So I think he would have benefited from just being able to sit in that pack. The problem was he would have had to go out in 62.20, which that's 205 pace, and he was thinking about 207s or 206 high. I get it in your first one, not truly going for it. But listen, I think there's some big takeaways here. I thought he would get that mark. We're already talking about him, though. Like, he's number 5. Like, only 5 men have run number 6 now. There's only 5 men faster in U.S. history in the marathon than Conor Mance. So everybody was talking about that debut record. Hall, Canucci, Rupp, Career, and Ritz. And that's it. And I guess you could say, like, you look at that list, Colt, you throw it up there, like, only Career hasn't really turned into, like, a big-time guy, or what wasn't, like, a big-time guy in the marathon. Ritz, I guess, I don't know, sort of on the border, but he had his moments, right? Made a bunch of Olympic teams. Hall, obviously, best American marathoner for a while. Rupp, medalist. Canucci, winning majors, et cetera, et cetera. So Mance is already there. Now, different era, right? Because when those guys were running, 204 was winning races, right? Now Mance is in an era where 204 wins some races, but not all.
201 and 202s.
Yeah, I guess I should say 206 was winning races
back
then. And now that's not the case. So I think he's got more there. Again, I thought he had a 207 in him or maybe even a high 206, but this wasn't bad by any stretch of imagination. If he ran 209 high or 210, then I would have thought, okay, now we're seeing the same thing that we've seen over and over again. We got fooled again. But I think Mance joining that group just tells me, actually, hold on. Mubarak Hussein is in there as well. So he's number 7. My apologies. Number 7 all the time. So, I don't know. Are you more bullish? Or where are you at in terms of Mance's future based on this run? I'm kind of at a hold, I guess I'd say, because I was really high on him before.
Yeah, I'm on a hold too. I thought he could be the guy who could just be the difference maker, and for some reason we just on the men's side, we are people are kind of just resorting to the. I don't know how to say this. I'm a bad podcaster. Okay, you know how you play down
to a picture.
You play down to your competition in basketball, right?
Right.
Or football.
Yeah.
I feel like USA men's marathoners are playing down to their competition because they realize in order to be top 3 in the U.S., you gotta be a 209 guy, 208 guy.
Yeah.
And I thought Mance was gonna come out here, run like a 207, and be like, "Hey guys, no. We're not gonna just say 209s are cool anymore.
Yeah.
We're not gonna say." This is the most sub 210s we've ever seen in a race. It's cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's what's happening to the sub 4 minute mile. Let's be honest, breaking 4 now in college, you're like the 100th best guy. Mm-hmm. Whereas,
or high school,
you're like the 12th best guy. But now we recognize that breaking 4 is not the same because now people can run sub 355. Yeah. And I was hoping that maybe Conor Mance could be like, hey guys, we need to stop trying to break 210.
Oh, that's what he's trying to do.
I know that's what he's trying to do. And it's his first one, so maybe we should give him one more try to try to reset the expectation. I thought Conor Mance could be the guy who can reset it and be like, hey,
sure.
If you want to be an elite men's marathoner who's born in the U.S., your baseline needs to be 207. Your greatness needs to be 206, maybe 205 if you're an all-time great.
Counterpoint, though, I think he already started to do that because he had so much attention on him. Did you realize 3 other U.S. men broke 210? And it didn't get talked about that much.
Which is great.
Yeah, because the standard is totally shifted.
Yeah, and it should.
We're in a world where people are running 202s or faster if you're Kipchoge and Bekele. So the 210 getting you 8 minutes back of where the world record's at isn't the same as when you ran a 209 and people were the best time anyone ever saw was a 205.
But to answer your question,
yeah, Answer it.
I'm still bullish on Mance being that guy.
Yeah.
And I do believe his second race, I think he's going to run his 2:07, and I think we'll be able to all right, we're looking going into the Olympic year as Mance being all right, I'm ready to go. I'm going to be in my prime, 2024. Not prime enough. I don't know if he's going to be prime enough to medal the way Rupp was, because Rupp was a different animal. But so he can at least be someone who's hey, I can run on maybe on my greatest day ever, a 2:05.
So Rupp and Hall are good comps.
Yeah.
Right? Rupp is in the mix. If he's healthy, last year he got second in this race. And this is not every year is exactly the same, but he was second to Tura, who finished second here today. So you can kind of imagine where Galen Rupp would have been in this field. So the question is Mance closer to Rupp? And maybe not the Rupp right now, because with his health issues, we don't know where Rupp is right now. But is he close to that level that Rupp got to? Or is he closer to, people like a little bit like Jared Ward and people in that group who can get in the mix, can finish top 5, but not necessarily get medals?
So for the people listening, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, like and subscribe to YouTube channel, because then we do a visual representation of where I think Conor Mance is right now.
Oh, I know exactly where he is right now, but I'm curious to see.
Okay, so if Rupp is the Hawk logo on this screen.
No one knows what that means. The red thing.
The red, where the red logo. No one knows. It looks like a hawk.
It does? Looks like an F
if
to me.
that's Rupp, if the K is like the Jared Ward, right? Good.
Yeah.
I would put...
You didn't need to do it.
I would put Conor Mance somewhere between the O and the T.
Yeah. Conor Mance is the second best marathoner in the U.S. right now, right?
Yeah.
It's Rupp, and then it's him. It's still Rupp. He needs to beat Rupp head-to-head, or Rupp needs to have more bad races in a row. But right now, it's Rupp, Mance, and then question mark for that third spot. But that's the order right now. Well, he did that after one marathon. That's pretty impressive.
I wasn't answering that question, where he is right now. I said where he is in potential.
Potentially, I think he can be as good as Rupp was. You don't
yeah,
think
but
so? Maybe not quite there. Maybe say
because Rupp could medal. That's the difference.
Right. Well,
Rupp may not have the times, but he can medal. That's why he's between the O and the T for those.
Okay.
Not.
It's a word. For those FloTrack. That's what he's. You could have done 1 to 10, and then everybody.
Yeah, but it's more fun. Use our visual. And subscribe. Email us FloTrackPodcast@gmail. For your
Massimo says classic Gordon visual representation. Yeah, we need props, I think, on the show. This gets difficult because then everybody wants to talk about times, and it's just different because we all know we're in a faster era with shoe technology. Now, Rupp had the benefit of the shoe technology towards the end of his career.
Did he have the benefit of the shoe technology before everyone else knew?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's difficult. I guess he had it at trials in 2016, which is where he debuted in the marathon. So maybe he did have it for the entire time. But it just gets tough. It's hard to imagine right now, if the Olympics were next year, would Mance be contending for a medal? It's hard to imagine him doing that. But it is easier to imagine Mance running times like Galen Rupp did. So that's the problem here. But I think he's closer. He's in between Rupp and whoever is third.
Yeah,
do you
between
agree?
The O and the T.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
We're on the same page.
All right. Do you want to give me your American women top 3 right now?
For 2024 or for 2022?
Power rankings right now. Heavily biased towards Emily Sisson because she ran yesterday.
Yeah, I'll go Sisson 1.
Yeah.
I think Kira's 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess I go Hall.
I agree with you 1 and 2. I go Seidel 3.
Seidel, I don't know if she's. I don't think she's as healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's. I mean, we haven't seen her much. I just think that Hall. The amount of races. I think I'm going with more with consistency in Hall.
Gotcha.
Than the flash that Molly has given us. And don't get me wrong, it was a great flash because she got.
She had
freaking Olympics.
Well, and she had.
So
made the Olympic team in her first marathon.
Yeah, exactly.
She did well in London.
I feel like I'm going for the,
Yeah. Is this year, Colt, or is this the last couple of years? What is this? Colt's
That's this year.
This year. Okay, so Sisson 1, D'Amato 2, Hall 3, Bates 4. You have to think about someone like Tuliamuk getting in the mix again too. But like right now, if I had to rank them, like right now, it's going to be more slanted towards some
what
people.
they've done lately.
Yeah, like lately. But I would hold one spot for Seidel because I think if she can get healthy, get everything right, then should be good to go. But I think we agree, Sisson 1.
Yeah.
D'Amato 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't that though. 48 hours ago.
No.
Sisson wasn't in anyone's top 3 48 hours ago.
No, because it was one of those things where she needs to do. If it goes well, she's going to jump all the way up the rankings.
It's number 1, yeah.
Yeah, but
that's not wild. She was not ranked
until she does. Well,
she didn't have receiving votes. Did you give her a vote?
I didn't rank them ahead of time,
okay.
But if I did in my hypothetical rankings that I'm talking about now in retrospect, yeah, because the last marathon she ran, she dropped out of.
Yeah, I mean it's like
a while ago. It's a while ago.
I mean, Penn State, they weren't even ranked preseason, but now they're top 10. College football.
I was telling people that this weekend.
You were telling about the Penn State moving up.
It's like, if I were to compare Sisson's marathon ranking to college football.
Do you know who's ranked in the top 25 college football right now?
James Madison. Yes, I do. So is Illinois.
Yeah.
ILL. They're back
also, undefeated, Coastal Carolina. Same conference as James Madison.
And
they're both going to play each other in the last game of the season. So we could have like 2 10-0 teams.
Coastal Carolina last year in track. Come on. Who'd they have? Mr. Track Rankings guy? You're staring at me. Oh, you don't know? You don't
Coastal
know?
Carolina? What did Coastal Carolina have in track?
Did I get this wrong?
Oh, yeah.
You make me feel stupid. Say it.
No, you say it.
Melissa Jefferson.
Yeah.
Okay. You made me doubt.
They had the greatest
knowledge.
greatest coach interview of all time.
Oh, man.
I forget his name. He was British, though.
You forget his name.
He talked so much. After Melissa Jefferson won the 60 indoors. One, it was cool seeing the dynamic of Melissa and her coach just like celebrating together, and then we got him on camera, and he just like had so much confidence. It's like, I knew this. No one else believed it, but I knew.
Carl Goodman.
He was like, this ain't no surprise. And then he's like, well, no, it kind of is a surprise. He's like, no, it's not. Like, this is what she's supposed to do. She's coming here and she's going to win it. And I was like, all right. I mean, that's what a coach should be. A coach should not be surprised when their athletes do well.
Well, shout out to Coach Goodman for working his way into a Chicago Marathon recap segment.
Yes.
Well done.
We love you, Carl.
We went from college football over to
women's 60-meter dashing.
Not just the 60.
The 100.
The 100. She made the team.
Yeah, I know.
She made the team.
She ran like 9, the 10-6.
Give some respect.
She ran 10-6.
Give
8?
some respect to the Chanticleers.
Sorry. You had to look that up. You did not know they were called. What? Do you even know what a Chanticleer is?
I don't, but I
What
remember.
is a Chanticleer?
Colt, can you pull that up?
It sounds like, is it a bird? It sounds like a bird.
I think it's like a chicken of some kind,
Chicken?
right?
It's a chicken?
Like a
Producer Colt's going to pull this up. No, I heard it last week because someone was talking about the football team, and then I
Chanticleers.
remembered, oh, yeah, that's
It sounds like musketeers.
Also, Colt's going to have a hard time Googling this.
Chanticleer.
He's reaching desperately.
They're chickens. They're chickens. Yeah, it's a rooster?
No, I just want an actual definition, Colt, of what it is.
Yeah,
I don't need to see their football schedule. What are we doing
is a
here, Colt?
Chanticleer?
Colt, what are we doing here, man? Colt got lost on Google. All right, hold on. Chauncey the Chanticleer. I know, but what? Oh,
It's a rooster.
okay.
It's a fierce rooster.
Right on. Well, no, hold on. Go. Is a Chanticleer a real bird? Click on that one. I love the people also ask segment of Google. It makes me feel really smart.
Simply put,
A Chanticleer.
a Chanticleer.
Chanticleer, sorry, a rooster. All right.
Yeah.
Good luck to them this year.
The more you know. All right.
They're in South Carolina.
That
too.
wraps up our the Chanticleer Chicago recap.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Let me talk about the news, sprinting news.
No, hold on. Let me check in the chat, see if there's anything else. If there's anything else people want to talk about with Chicago. Or if anybody has different order on the power rankings. I mean, Zach Panning, too bad Lincoln's not here. D2, represent. 209.28. It's only a minute and 10 seconds behind Mantz. I mean, if we're talking about Mantz as being like a guy, Panning's pretty young, only a minute 10 back.
Do you know who might not be a guy anymore?
Hold on, though. Let me talk about who is a guy. McDonald, and then your guy, Nico Montañez, also broke 210.
Yeah.
Who may not be a guy anymore?
I mean, we're going to find out in New York, but like, I think there's a chance. Are we sure Galen Rupp's going to be on the 2024 Olympic team?
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Wow. I thought you were going to go another direction.
Like, I'm just saying. He's getting older.
We got to see it. He has a pretty high ceiling.
He is good. He's great, but like, I don't think obviously he was a pencil no matter what in 16 and 20, or I guess 2021.
A pencil? Oh, pencil.
A pen. He was a pen. He was a pen. He was like permanent marker. But
So
like I
not a
think
pencil.
he's a very lightly written in name because I think there's a
Health issues?
yeah, and he's getting old, and it's like he's coming to the end of his road.
Yeah. No, I know that. It was so tough to tell at World Champs because, like, how hurt is he? He
Yeah.
said he just needed more time, didn't have the fitness. It's tough to figure out where he's at. I thought you were gonna name some like random person.
No, so basically the reason why I say that is because if Rupp is out of the picture,
Whole
Mantz
new
is
game.
Mantz is the guy. 2 spots. Maybe it's a Zach Panning. Maybe it's a Matt McDonald. Maybe it's Colin Benny's or the
Well, Hares.
So
last Olympic team, Rupp, Riley, Abdi.
Abdi might get it again.
Abdi's gonna get it
Abdi
again.
might get it again.
Abdi's just laying in wait.
That'd be great.
Has a 50-year-old ever made?
This would be a 6 if he makes it.
Wouldn't it be 7? 2000,
Abdi.
04, 08. He missed one in the middle there. I know he made 12, 16. No, I think it'll be 6. Now Gordon's Googling.
Do you know Abdi Hamid Nur has a Wikipedia page now?
Credit
I
to
type
him.
in Abdi Hamid and
Abdi Rahman.
oh, it's Abdi Ram.
I should be the chief Googler, I think. So
Abdi
maybe
Abdi
I'm
Rahman.
gonna devote myself to
Okay,
Producer
he
on
has
this-
made
Team USA. Here we go.
how many has he made?
5-time Olympics.
five.
This would be 6.
So
Yeah,
he
he
goes
missed
6.
it in 2016.
Okay,
That's right. So he had a 3-year streak,
dude, he might make it.
and then he had a 4 Olympiad streak, and then missed it in 16. He was born in 1977.
So that's
Yeah.
old.
That's awesome.
I mean, we're old, but
Yeah.
it's amazing. So yeah, he's gonna make it. Conor Mance, and then someone from that smorgasbord of,
Yeah. Massimo agrees with you. Rupp will not make another team, but asks who has had a better career on the track, Galen Rupp or Grant Fisher?
I mean, Rupp.
Yeah. I'm a medal person.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I've
I mean,
learned.
Rupp had the records too. Like, Rupp can't break records after he broke. Like, records are meant to be broken. So I can.
Did you come up with that?
Well, I just think, like, in general, I think record holders are equal. So I think when Rupp held the record, that's equivalent to Grant Fisher holding the record, even though Fisher's is faster, because he held the record in that era,
Interesting.
right?
I never heard
Like,
of
obviously,
that
if you think Carl Lewis and Leroy Burrell are like worse than Marvin Bracey, like, who'd you take in a race?
Right now, Bracey.
1980s Lewis or Marvin Bracey?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Take 1980s Lewis.
You gotta compare it to
Yeah.
the era. So as long as you get the record in your era, that's
It's
like
equal.
That's a point.
That's a point. It's a point
Interesting.
system. Yeah.
Okay.
So the thing that Rupp has over Fisher right now is
The medals. And then you gotta. Well, he said track career but a lot of
Track
Rupp's time
medals.
has been spent on the roads now too. He has a marathon.
yeah.
Medal as well too. But yeah, I would say, and just the longevity of dominance, right? That
Yeah.
was a period where you just would ride in Rupp to win the
Yeah.
10,000 USAs every single year. Okay, 2 more stories we want to get to. One serious, one not serious. We'll do the serious one first. CJ Ujah, British sprinter, looks like he's going to get a 22-month suspension.
Quick
This-
math. How many years is that?
A little less than 2?
No, like number 1 point what?
Oh, I don't know.
1.83333333.
Thank you.
3333.
This was a serious
Three,
segment,
three, three, three.
so I was really hoping you'd stick
just
with me
under
on
2
that.
years.
But he got cleared for deliberately taking the banned substance, but that doesn't matter in the eyes of the law. The British team still got stripped of their medal at the Tokyo Olympics in the 4x1. The quote says the failed test was not intentional, according to due to a contaminated supplement. Here we are again with contaminated supplements. I know athletes have vastly different lives than the rest of us, but does anything good come from taking a supplement? It just feels like the risk-reward balance is so one-sided. Just stay away from all the supplements.
Are you like
I'm not into supplements, as you can tell.
you like GNC like protester? What? Nothing good comes from
But
supplements.
I'm saying, like, if your whole career,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to pile on, right?
Just don't put anything in your body.
That you don't know what it is. I guess it's enough of a risk just in general, because if you go out to eat at a restaurant, there's some risk there. But these are real people. They're existing in the real world. You can't expect them to go so far. But I think one thing you can do is just say, hey, if it's a supplement, if I'm ordering it online, I need to be real sure what it is before it goes in my body, that it can't have anything that can flag a tester.
A good example of that, Jordan Burroughs, who's one of the best Olympic wrestlers of all time. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast a few years ago, like a year or two ago, and Joe Rogan has a drink called Kill Cliff. It's like a CBD drink.
Okay, now are you promoting stuff?
No, it's a drink, right? And he promotes it, he has his own brand, whatever. And he offers Jordan Burroughs on the podcast, like, hey, do you want to try it? It's good. It's pineapple.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm good. And he's like, no, it's good. It's fine. It's not like it's legal. You're good. And he's like, no, I'm not. And I thought that was an interesting thing where like he even like, and then Joe recognizes like, oh, okay, I get it. You're an Olympic athlete. You're not gonna just take my word for it.
Yeah,
like you just have to say. So that's like a good example.
Especially his word for it.
I thought it was interesting, like seeing an Olympic athlete in real time just be like no to even something that probably wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But just in the moment was just like no.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is the quote from AIU. AIU and WADA were satisfied that the sprinter's anti-doping rule violation was not intentional as a result of his ingestion of a contaminated supplement, and the applicable 2-year period of ineligibility was reduced by 2 months on account of how promptly he admitted the violation. So he gets it cut down to 2 months.
So it's from 24 to 22?
But it's a key 2 months because he can compete in the beginning of June 2023
to qualify
for the World Championships. And they know that stuff. Like AIU knows the calendar and stuff, so they know, okay, well, is this really worth him sitting out like an additional year or not? Okay, if it's not, then let's. So it does seem arbitrary, 24 to 22, but that is a very big.
If you could choose like when to be banned, what's like the peak? What's the best time to ban? Like
if you're a track athlete, November,
October, November, December, maybe a little bit January.
Yeah,
that's when you get banned.
Even February.
It's peak ban times.
Yeah. But you never know what sort of ban you're going to get.
That's true.
It could last even longer. And then one more quote here for Brett Clothier, the head of the AIU.
I kind of would rather get banned in like April.
In this case, after a thorough examination of the facts, we were satisfied that Mr. Ujah did indeed ingest a contaminated supplement, but he was unable to demonstrate that he was entitled to any reduction in the applicable period of ineligibility based on his level of fault. So, I mean, ultimately, right, you're responsible for what goes in your body. Doesn't mean you do it intentionally, but the rule there states that you're going to be held liable for it.
Next time, pull a Jordan Burroughs and just say no to Joe Rogan's CBD drink or whatever this guy was putting in his
I
body.
I don't think that's what it, I don't know. It was like on a lark. I think it was a supplement. It was, what was the, I don't need to say what the supplement is. Who cares?
Can you not pronounce it? Is that why?
No, I can say it. I just don't. I gotta have to find it.
Okay.
Well, he tested positive for Ostarine and S23. I don't know what the exact.
Sounds like a band name.
Which
we're
one?
Ostarine and the S23s.
I don't know the name of the actual name of.
Okay, it's fine.
Anyway, all right. Let's see what's left here. Oh, dunking time. Gordon Dunk update. Do you want to talk us through this? You're ready for this. This is what gets Gordon up in the morning, folks. Don't show it yet. Oh, he already showed it.
We're showing it. It's fine. Let's just say, January, I told you I was going to dunk a basketball. In September, I grabbed a rim. And now, in October, I dunked a Nerf football.
That's a Nerf football.
Nerf football. It's like this much in diameter.
Yeah, people are watching. You can see it. If not, go to Gordon's Instagram.
That's not Photoshop. That's real. It's an official height. So, yeah.
I'm disappointed you're only getting 37 likes on this. It's more of my disappointment.
No. Come on, man. It's fine.
Guys, if you listen to the pod, follow Gordon
and go
on
like
Instagram.
This video. It's the
first video. Gordon Mack. It's just his name. He did a hashtag progress.
It is progress.
Hashtag Gordon Dunks 2022.
I'm proud of you. Text from my mom.
That's why
I posted it.
That's why you do it. That's why you wake up in the morning. Do you think did you jump higher than last month when you just grabbed the rim?
Yes, for sure.
Or do you think you could have done this?
I jumped
last month. Okay.
I jumped higher. And then also there's another video where I do it another attempt, I don't get as high. So one thing I'm learning is like here's a slow-mo version on a different rim. Like I make it, but I'm not as good. Like I'm not as strong.
Yeah.
And what's making me realizing is a lot of it is on my form, which is I'm not doing any form training. I'm not learning how to jump. I'm just exercising all the time. And so I need to start practicing how to jump like optimistically. Is that the word?
No. Optimally.
So I need to work on that. And then I also thought about I need to buy shoes.
Optimistic.
Like if I buy like Air Jordans, that's gonna be at least
that
an
makes you
inch.
jump. Get the old Reebok pumps.
Yeah, I should buy Air Jordans. So if I buy Air Jordans, if I go on a hardwood basketball court.
No, get the Alpha Flies.
No, I don't.
That'd be a funny video.
That would be funny, but like I was like, I'll get it.
You'd be 5 inches taller. You
I feel like that's cheating. So, but
the hardwood.
I'll tell you
floor.
this: it feels good to do it, man. I felt there was this guy who was like, I don't know if he was on the phone and he was sitting like on a bench because I was the only one there, and he was just sitting there. And then I turned around and I was like, "Yo!" And he did not care at all. But I was like so pumped. I was like, "I just did it!" And he was like, just ignoring me. I was like, "Okay."
I thought that was gonna be, and he offered me a G League
No,
contract.
he did not offer me a G League contract.
This is my last day.
So yeah, I did a ball this big. So I just need to get stronger. I need to get better at my grip of an actual ball, and I'll do another attempt maybe end of October, November.
So what's the next object?
I'm trying to figure that out. What's like halfway between a Nerf football and a basketball
Well,
that you can grip? Like a dodgeball?
I think you go foam basketball now, right?
Foam basketball.
Like full. Yeah.
So I can grip it. It's the same size, but I can grip it easily. That's good. Foam basketball.
yeah,
I
like
gotta look that up.
it'd be like a dodgeball, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna Google foam.
You don't need to do it right now. We're still
basketball,
recording the
Amazon.
Okay.
Or like one of those like foam soccer balls from back in the day that hurt
Yeah.
bad when you got hit by them.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess you go from there. Do you go there then down to mini basketball? Just to get the feel of a basketball.
Yeah, you go back and forth. Yeah. No, I don't know. I just think gotta keep exercising, and I think the shoes are gonna help.
No, you need to do actual exercise.
Because I zoomed in on my foot plant for like that slow-mo one.
It's fine.
My shoe, I'm sorry, like these are just Brooks running shoes. They're not the best for like basketball dunking.
I don't really think. Do you really think there's like a shoe out there that's gonna make you jump?
I think there's something about like I'm thinking a lot of
the wood floor is gonna be a bigger difference maker than the shoes.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just saying progress is going well. I did not expect it to go this well. Kind of thought when I made the goal that I might fail at it, but I'm still going.
Yeah, here's the beginning. Let's show the first. Let's show that January 2022 one.
I'm so sure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He
so
was several inches away. We need the third one there now.
Yeah, so I gotta do So that's grabbing rim.
I don't know. I think
the grabbing rim. I'm higher than September already.
Well, the angle is tough to figure out.
Yeah.
But
when I grabbed rim in September, it was like here.
dude,
Now I'm here.
how many?
I got like an extra like 4 inches in a month, maybe 3.5.
Well, hold on, go back to that. Someone gives you tips. Pull that back up, Colt, if you can. Someone gave Gordon tips in the thing. Come on, Gordon. Weight, toe raises, weighted step up, single leg, RDLs, deadlifts, yeah. Split squats, jump rope, box hops, box jumps, and one knee down. Dude, you got to hit up DAT intangibles.
Yeah,
DAT underscore intangibles.
I have done a little bit of that. I have started doing calf raises and leg presses.
I like this. Get some vapor flies. Okay, so yeah, someone else had the vapor fly idea. I was 3 weeks late on my joke. Someone says, got some big hops now. Way to go. I will not say you got this because that is the least favorite thing I hear on the course at a cross-country meet, road race, or even a distance event on the track. Yeah. Don't say it.
So I don't got this yet.
Okay, how many podcasts do you think there are in the world?
I don't know. Hundreds and thousands? I don't know.
How many of them do you think at the beginning of the year had some sort of discussion or topic about New Year's resolutions?
A bunch.
How many do you think now they're still talking about New Year's resolutions? It's got to be close to zero, right?
We're probably the only ones.
We did it.
We did it. Yeah.
You're doing it.
Well, how's you doing? You need to film yourself benching.
Benching? Yeah, I don't have anybody to film me in the morning. So I haven't done any one rep.
Have your
rep
wife
max.
film you?
Well, if I can get my wife out there, it's going to be to spot. And I don't want her holding the phone while trying to spot because that ends with me dumping the weight, which has been painful.
Use your selfie tripod thing.
Okay.
I don't have anyone to film me. I put my phone on
I guess I could set it down. Yeah,
hanging up next to a water bottle. Like, that's what I do.
I haven't done any one. My goal is 200, as people know.
Bench 200.
Bench 200, one rep by the end of the year.
And what do you got now?
165 times 3. So I don't know what the one rep would be. You can put it into calculators, and it's probably like 180. So
okay.
I'm
20 pounds.
Probably about as far away as you are from the basketball. Like, there's still work to be done. I don't want to rule anything out. I think I'm going to come up a little short, and it's disappointing. I thought it'd be like 190 right now, but I still got time. Yeah.
You gotta get you a GoPro, Kevin. I want a first-person point of view.
First person that looks like this. That's first person.
We gotta get a video of this. I've been giving the people all these.
It's not that exciting.
updates.
Dunking is way exciting. Like me, it's like, wow, cool guy.
No,
Not
I
that
don't
much.
know. Yeah.
I never like lifted, like I said at the beginning, like this was like last year I started, right? So like it's a year into the pandemic I started doing it. But I was runner through and through.
Yeah.
I was in weight training in high school and I never did anything because I didn't want to get tired for track practice.
Yeah.
So I'd do like the bare minimum. I'd get on some of the machines and stuff, but I never actually lifted. I go through phases where I do a lot of pull-ups and push-ups and stuff like that, but this is the first time. So very new to it. It's exciting to improve it on something. I'm not going to give up. I'm literally going to go on New Year's Eve. Like I already have it scheduled.
Oh, wow,
I'm going to go to someone's house on New Year's Eve and max. I don't know if the max will be 200 or if it'll be 190, but I'm going to know, okay, this was my max. I used all 365 days.
But when you do that, are you just gonna walk in, put 200 on the rack, and go?
No. We got a system.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think I'm going to optimize it for that one day. All the other stuff I've been doing, it's just coming within the course of a larger workout. It's sort of like, hey, what's your mile PR? And you're like, well, I did 2 by 1 mile at this, right?
Yeah,
and I did some other stuff before that. I did a couple 800s. Like I have a ballpark range of what I can do, but I don't know absolutely like where I would be. But what is it? It's middle October. So we got all of November, all of December. So I got like 10 weeks. I think I can give it a run. I think if I got to 190, I would be proud of myself. But I'm going to get to 200 eventually. It's just a matter of when.
So if I do pull off the dunk, though,
You're better than me. Then you won.
no,
My other goal was to read 30 books. Did you do that?
I haven't read a book. I haven't read a
You
lot.
read one book ever, though, guys. The autobiography of Nick Foles.
It's very true.
I was thinking about that this morning for some reason. I just started laughing while I was running.
It's a good book.
I have this love that you're like, this is it. This is going to be the
This is
one.
my book for my life. I mean, I listen to podcasts. That counts as reading, right?
No, but go ahead. What were you saying?
I feel like it does. You're learning information about stuff.
What were you going to say? We got to go.
Oh, if I do successfully dunk, which I plan on
what's
doing.
your next one going to be?
Well, the plan is I'm going to
Get better at interviewing, you said.
Yeah, get better at interviewing. I think that's for sure. Get better at my vocabulary. No, but I want to go to a pickup basketball game at the Y.
And dunk in the game?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that might be a little different.
But the game I want to dunk in
Oh,
is
you told me this.
So our CEO plays pickup basketball at the Y, and so I want to go and dunk on the CEO.
Mid-game.
Mid-game.
Oh, on him
Yeah.
or in the game? Oh, okay.
On him.
Wow. That might be hard. Colt pulled up the Nick Foles autobiography. What's it called? Believe It?
See, I believed it. I read
My
this.
Journey of Success, Failure, Overcoming the Odds. How many people bought this book?
See, put this. You got to change. We got to Photoshop that and put a picture of me dunking.
Yeah, I
That's
think you should.
The Nick Foles, the Gordon Mack biography. Believe it.
That's incredible. Get ready to defy the odds when everyone's counting you out. Thanks to Colt for producing. The email address is, we didn't get to the emails today, I'm sorry.
Get to it Wednesday.
Maximus, where is Guess My PR? We need more emails. We need emails on Guess My PR. But we got some emails from Will about G'day's marathon debut. We'll talk about that. Someone called you a numpty, which I thought's interesting. Wayne in Australia called you a numpty. I don't know what that means. Oh, here's a funny one. Actually, I'm not going to read your email because I don't want to give it away. And I don't want it to influence Gordon. They bet on something else you're going to do. Don't check the inbox this week, okay?
I haven't checked the inbox in like a year. I think I forgot the password. So.
Okay, I won't tell you.
You're in charge of email.
Yeah. He sent a funny... They have another bet. He's the one who...
Oh, is he the bet
on what the breaking news
on the
was,
Colin Solomon news?
But now he's got another one.
They have a new bet? Okay.
Yeah, but the thing hasn't happened yet. But it's a funny
good one?
idea.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll check in on that too. Again, the email address is FloTrackPodcast@gmail.com. Yeah, Guess My PR, Internet Coach, or any other questions. Maybe we need to come up with maybe another segment too.
Yeah. Email us.
Yeah.
Segment ideas.
Yeah. Subject line, segment idea. All right. We'll talk to you guys on Wednesday, same time.
Like and subscribe.